Speaking of doctor's appointments, sometimes in life, the doctor can't save you. And when that happens, you die. However, in roleplay, you don't die. As many of you guys see, everyone just permanently plays these characters that get hit by cars, shot, jump off cliffs, get exploded, etc. But by the choice of the role players, they can die in what's known as permadeath. And that's our episode here today. This is Roleplay Podcast episode 20. I don't even know what we're at, but Sab, great job with that. The permadeath episode, we're joined by Dimoke, Doc Wizard, and Sergeant Apollo. And to start us off, I would love, and actually, you know what, Sab, you're pretty fitting here too. To start us off, I would like all four of you to introduce yourselves. We'll go Sab, then Dimoke, then Doc, then Sergeant Apollo. Introduce yourselves and tell us what is the sort of most infamous character that you've had permanently die.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome to the RP Podcast. I'm Sab, the co-host, and I played a character who was a favorite of mine. I played for almost 5 years, and that is Sam Bass. That was my infamous character, perma, for sure.
Bass.
Bass.
R.I.P. Bass.
Mm.
Not like I didn't try and kill myself at any point in time. So, Doc Wizard, previously known as in character TJ, Terrence James Walker, which was former cop that went BBMC, goes up through BBMC, and then was one of the founders of ADMC in 4.0.
That's right. I remember that man. I remember kicking him out of the PD.
Whoa, hold up. You didn't kick anything out. Actually, hold up. You know, before we even start this really quick, wow, I got you a gift because, you know.
Is this about Valorant?
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
You got him a gift? Let me see this.
I'm gonna mail that to you. Just
Hold
on. I got you.
That's fitting, yeah.
Just in case.
I don't get the context.
Well, you can hold those for me. I'll give
for context. There's currently a Valorant tournament in the No Pixel community for charity. Shout out to Captain Archon for throwing that on. I said a lot of pretty horrendous things about Doc and the ADMC. I did it for banter to make it more interesting to raise money for charity. Yep. And yeah, we lost. It was bad. But we're good now. You know, we're winning now.
Yeah. How much you lose by? Was it close? Was it, you know, a blowout? What was the score? What was the final score?
13-9s, both of them.
Not bad. Not bad. I thought
it was respectable. It was competitive. It was close.
Yeah, 13-9 is good.
In our defense, we were not running our best players.
Okay.
Actually,
well, you need best players to win.
Neither did we.
all right.
Exactly. There's no losing charity games.
Yeah,
everybody's a winner at the end of the day, right?
We just wanted to chill with it, so I appreciate it. Though. It was fun time. So, yeah. Sorry for the segue, but yeah, TJ Walker. I guess now play John or Judge Bailey, an old cop that I also brought in called Jay Runner. So that's where I'm at.
By the way, just so you guys know, while it is called the Roleplay Podcast, any segues are always great. Please don't auto update this game. Oh my god, sorry. Yeah, no, any segues are great because we're still a podcast, so we try to just talk about random dumb shit as well. So if it's a segue that has nothing to do with roleplay, all good. All right, Dimoke, Sergeant Apollo, let's hear from you two.
Hello. My man Apollo, Aziz died. I killed Aziz off. I played Aziz for a while, for 3 years, 4 years, around that time. Fly high. Yeah, fly high Aziz. We threw him out of a fucking plane and he permad. Yep. LSPD, troopers, you name it. Flight certs, Air One, you name it. But now I got a new cop. I've been playing a new cop, little Marshy Brooks, little country boy. And Salim's a dream.
Wait, let me hear your country accent.
No, you can't put me on the spot.
Come on, dude.
You got it.
I mean,
I do it all day.
This is coming from me.
Okay. How you doing, fella? What's going on, you piece of shit?
That's actually not bad. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
That's not bad. That's not bad, actually. That's actually really good. It gives me King of the Hill vibes for sure.
Wait, you need, oh my god, I need to run Clay with you then, because
100%. I just got him in the BCSO. First day was yesterday. Oh my god, bro. It was so much fun.
Dude, Clay's BCSO too. And the best part about playing characters with like the K Kona or Southern accent is you start doing it and like all the other characters around you will slip into it too. And they're like, fuck, like, why am I talking like that? Like,
Why is the Southern drawl coming out all of a sudden? Yeah.
yeah. And last but not least, has a funeral on Friday. Dimo.
I'm looking out of bed. Tomorrow I'm looking up slacks.
Oh, really? Oh, man, for me? Oh, thanks. Dimok, I recently promoted Beverly Breckers. My longest character I've ever played at 8 months. So, you know, glad to hit that new milestone. But yeah, recently gone.
How dare you?
Rest in peace.
And yeah.
Some context for the podcast. He has messaged me before about permaing it, and I would just be like, shut the fuck up. You're not permaing this character. Stop. And I would get so mad, and I tried to block it. And then the worst part is when he listen, the reason why Breckers is permanent is, and I forgot what I was doing that day. I want to say I was helping Myung, K-Cat Amina. I think I was helping her like move some stuff because she was moving. So I'm pretty sure she's actually the reason Breckers is dead, because I couldn't answer my Discord DMs where he was asking if he should perma the character.
I was panicking. I just remember because the rolls were going so bad. And I was like, how does it say anything? If this kid, I got to do something here. And then, you know, just.
The die don't lie. The die don't lie.
Yeah.
So my first question, well, I'd actually love if you guys could kind of explain this, like, and we can get like a little bit of it, you know, because everyone's gonna be like, oh, perma, this character dies, yeah. I would love to hear like an explanation just for the podcast, for listeners or whoever, or anyone who's like not as familiar with roleplay. What is the nature of like permadeath of it? Like, what makes permadeath different? And then, you know, maybe, and I'd actually want to hear from you guys. And then Sab, I'd actually love if you actually clarified what it means, because there's rules around it on NoPixel, and I'd love to actually hear if you can like clarify those rules. Oh my god, we actually have an admin to clarify the rules.
Yeah, I can tell you when it's dead.
For me, I mean, perma, when I perma'd Aziz, it was just dice rolling. The dice don't lie. And I kept rolling and rolling and rolling for weeks on end. Because we're on GTA, right? People are, like you said, people are getting blown up. People are getting shot. People are flying out of planes, and they're go to the hospital, and they're out of the hospital, and they're ready to go. For me,
Catch me
I
up,
say,
Doc.
it's done. It's done. It's time. No more. He's not coming back. He didn't make it.
Did you know you're gonna perma when you got thrown on a plane, or did you have it in mind you're gonna roll for perma? Like at that point, when did you think that it's gonna happen?
I mean, I was rolling for weeks on end before that. Almost every situation, my rule for me, what my perma rules. So I feel like maybe I'm unique in this, but I know a lot of people do this as well. They have their own perma conditions for their character. For me was, if I start a situation, like I pull someone over and I initiated the RP in that situation as a cop and I die because of it, I'm going to roll my perma dice and see if it hits. And that time it hit.
And is it every time since the beginning with Aziz, or is that something new you've adopted?
I started doing it in 4.0.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. He was gone.
Now,
In the wind.
okay, and then define dice rolls. So how and I'm curious of you guys, when you've permitted your characters, how many of those were done via dice rolls versus not?
Yeah. So I'll take that a little bit, I guess. Yeah. So dice roll. I mean, each person's kind of different with it. You know, some people just do it as a 20. Some people will extend it. You know, is this a serious issue? It's kind of like the first one. It all depends on what the person is feeling with it. So, you know, I'd say 3.0, I did it once and made it a true 50-50 out of 20. So anything 11 through 20 would have been him being alive, and 1 through 10 would have been his death. And that was actually during, I think I was still in PD at that point. That's what kind of kicked off majority of an arc leaving. And then when I recently did it, it was, how do I want to take it? Do I want to take it serious? And kind of gauge it from there. The first one was a 1 out of 20, which is like the worst. I'm like, yeah, all right, take it serious. And eventually got to the point of like ICU, kind of what damage it went to. And then afterwards, I just did a 1 through 100, said, all right, what's his percent chance of living? Rolled on 10, and I didn't roll 10% chance. And so he's gone. That was it.
Were you doing like the see if he goes ICU, surgery, and then roll for the surgery, and then move on, see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, I was
was
doing that
it was
too.
not rolling well.
There's
First one was a 1 out of 20.
damn, that is just pure unlucky. There's some people that have it in a way to where like the chart is broken down, and each dice from like 1 through 100, for example, right? Like to say 1 through 110 is like a certain amount of damage. 20 through 50 is a certain amount of roll, and then once you get to a critical one, 70 through 100, it's like more things happened. So it just, like you said, Doc, it just depends on how you do it. It's all preference. Some people are very, serious about it. Some people are very casual in a way to like, oh, okay, a 20 is a perma versus like a 19, right? So,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I permitted. So I permitted 3 characters now, and I've only used dice rolls on Breckers. Every other one has died because it was a very cinematic moment, and I knew that like this is kind of the accumulation of their story. So I was like, this is like the perfect moment for their story to end, and like new stories to start. For Brecker's rolls on the dice table, I just use the D&D regular table. So for me, it's like 1 through 5 is basically a fail. 5 through 10 is going to be a pass with some sort of bad thing happening. 10 through 15 is just going to be a regular pass. And 15 through 20, maybe something goes really well. So that's kind of how I gauge those rolls. And I remember we just rolled so many below in the 1 to 5 region. So yeah.
We've talked about this on the podcast before. I kind of wish there were more like Seb, I wish like either NoPix or just roleplay servers in general had a like almost like a dice roll mechanic built in. Not just like for the role players to do.
I've been asking, or the slash me mechanic as well. There's so many things that just forget I'm an admin. There's so many things that just I would love to see on the server. Smile.
Bro,
Oh,
he's
that's
not gonna be
true.
an-
You want to
Bro, he's
expand
not
on
gonna
that?
be
Just
he's not-
a little bit.
He's not going to be an admin for long.
I have to
Now,
catch
speaking-
myself, man. I can remember on stream.
as an admin though, Seth, I mean, if you can speak to it, like how does NoPixel handle permadeath? Because correct me if I'm wrong, it's like,
It's up to the player. That's 1. 2, it has to be declared OOC in either an OOC chat globally or locally. Obviously, prefer locally. That way, it's not affecting other people. And in the past, there was no local OOC. There was only just OOC. So sometimes in the server, you would see the global message in the past. So and so died, and it would send shockwaves through the whole entire server, even though people don't have the meta, but they do have the meta, but they don't have the in-character meta, but they know what happened.
Do you remember any like big moments of that?
Hmm.
Try to remember, man.
Me too.
I mean, every time it happened, there was just like RIP 07s every time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
They would spam it, right? It would be a walls
Yeah,
of
it's
07s.
really-
Yeah.
That's right. The
Very
whole
well
community would
done.
actually get behind it and spam it. I'm trying to remember who was like. I'm
Did
trying
they
to
do it
remember
for
one.
Meow? The Meow
Oh,
Furion
Meow
did it?
Furion.
Mm.
Yeah, that one too as well. I mean, I got it on Bass as well when I permanent Bass. People spam 07, right? So, but I didn't do it OOC, just a funeral afterwards. But that's how you make it officially. If you said that, if it's typed in there in that chat, it's a done deal. There's no coming back from that.
Okay. What if someone types what if someone perms their character and then they reach out to NoPixel staff and they're like, hey, I want to bring this character back? What's the answer?
The answer is
back. Breckers is dead. Okay.
Shut up, Dimok. I'm trying.
you could bring him back as a robot. It's case by case. That's all I have to say.
Mm.
It's case by case.
The chance.
Wow, I'm just saying. Yeah, I mean, so it's case by case. I'm sure, like, but you guys like tell people like, hey, if you're gonna perma a character, you need to be like ready
Yeah.
to do that.
Right. And I mean, for me especially, like I knew I was a perma Sandbass, and the reason why I did it is because I was on top of the world. I had everything, all the powers. Nobody can check me in roleplay. Nobody can stop me. I could do whatever I wanted, and it got to the point where like I've been doing this for 5 years, and this character has reached his pinnacle career where I'm sitting there on the throne every single day. Right? It got boring. It got too boring for me. It got really boring, and then it was during a time where the server was almost near a wipe for 4.0, so there was not really much to look forward to because you knew the server was on that wipe. right? The rumor was already out and things like that. So it was kind of hard for me to really do anything else and get motivated.
Yeah, I think, and I have a question for, actually, I guess it actually kind of applies to Doc, because I have a question about you guys perming cop characters. That's crazy to me. But I will say to all four of you guys, the like big permas you guys have done have been probably some of the biggest pieces of content and storyline in, you know, I mean, even Bass perming 3.0 was like such a big thing when there just wasn't much going on, right? And I mean, I feel like there's not much going on except like Breckers' perma is like a really big deal right now. And then obviously the Aziz and TJ Walker ones were crazy.
Crazy. Made the whole arc heavier.
You guys permit cops though. Is that like, how does that work when it's like you have to go through so much kind of logistical work just to be a cop? So does that like kind of suck to permit that character? Like, how does that work?
I mean, I didn't put much thought into it. Like when I got on that day, I was just like, oh, another day. Oh, let's go patrol. Let's go pull some people over. And then I ended up in a plane and I said, okay, yeah. And it got super cinematic near the end when because they were a prison holdout. There was a massive shootout. It was 2 hours long. Aziz was bleeding out. So I said, yeah, this makes sense. This fits to it. And it doesn't, like, I don't care how long it'll take me to get back to it, or get back into PD. It just fits the character. So I said, it is what it is.
Doc, you want to go on that? I'll speak afterwards.
Oh, I mean, I guess I guess I wasn't considering TJ a cop still.
Well, I mean, you've done it though.
Well,
You've done it though.
yeah.
Yours is an interesting character. You're like cop to like full on Crim gang member and then full on government official. Like, you have a pretty
City
crazy
council
sort of
member.
path. Yeah.
Yeah, it was an interesting path. I guess if you didn't follow or didn't know too much of the story, I guess I'll give a little bit of the history with it. I'll try to keep it brief. So he was a cop. That went through a few things with it. Bass was a key part to that. Even Aziz was a part to that too. I think you're the first person to call me on Aziz when that happened, actually. So yeah, cop to Crim. About a month long in that process. Going to BBMC, went with them. Sanguine happened, which you know that was a big thing. I tried to use that to shape the character, and he was kind of one of the voices of Sanguine and did a lot of stuff with that. Water Warrior, whatever you all want to call him, that's fine. So
Reddit's still mad about that, by the way.
What's that?
I said Reddit's still mad about that, by the way.
Whatever.
Well, mad about what? What did you do? What's the
I don't know, dude. They're just obsessed with just drama. It's whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, came back 4.0 and I said, all right, I want to kind of do like a small Dexter arc where he goes off and says, you know, I'm kind of absolved of like the past and just kind of clear my mind, get rid of things. And so I made him a lumberjack as part of the Dexter side to it, which, by the way, sucked as a job if you tried to actually survive when you first started. And decided that he wanted to try to make a little bit of a difference in terms of government. So ran for treasurer the first time, didn't get it, got it the second time, and then when it all happened, similar to Aziz's, just the situation felt right with it. I mean, I had not been in a shootout since Sanguine at that point, and so, you know, coming back and purely playing like an actual civ that did no crime, after someone that did a lot in the past, was, you know, for him to get shut down and shot in a meeting doing something he was trying to actually improve the city on just felt right, as a catalyst to, I guess, a lot of different arcs. So,
do you
was there
guys?
more to that question?
Do you, yeah, no, that was great. Do you guys ever feel perma regret? You're like, fuck, I missed that character. I shouldn't have permed. You be honest here.
Who doesn't? Who does not?
Yeah.
Come on now, bro. Who doesn't? I mean, I do, but at the same time, I know what I signed up for. I knew that once I sent it, I was like, you know what? You cannot think about it too much, right? You'll miss it and be like, man, I miss playing this character. What coulda, shoulda, woulda happened, kind of shit. But at the end of the day, you gotta live with it.
I would say that's a very like complex question for myself to it. So, for example, like from the Crim side, there's a really big social currency aspect to it, right? You kind of think, PD, you can kind of make a name for yourself. You can, within the ranks and your performance and your job, how you do it, you get to interact with a lot of people. In terms of the Crim / like Civ side, it's rebuilding that social currency and trying to do that like on a no character afterwards has been basically tumultuous to try to do. So is there regret on something that you established? That part, yes. Do I regret doing it? No. I kind of regret some other things that kind of happened afterwards, and we'll get into in terms of just like, more stuff that happened following those events. But yeah, no, I'm happy with the decision to do it. But as an overall,
what's the stuff that happened following those events, or is this like like too spicy?
No. No, I mean, there might be a little spice to it, but I mean, you think of, for example, what led to the stuff afterwards, right? So my character dies. The dissolve basically happens with the council due to the whole court case, everything else that goes away. DOJ starts restructuring. So
disaster is what happens.
From those kind of events, like, you think back on it, a lot of people have either like stopped doing, for example, like the judge work stuff or whatever, and having to kind of redo a lot of the stuff from that has been kind of some of the small regret, as like that was a catalyst to everything else.
Got it. So it's your fault.
No, it's a portion of it. It wasn't everything. It kind of sparked the fire a little bit.
Honestly, for me, the reason I feel bad more perming on Cop than Crim is because of responsibilities, right? It's like you're, for example, if you're in a high position, right? And not having those responsibilities, because you feel bad because you've been helping out in that. You've been either tanking the aggro, or you've been the one who's getting blamed for all things, and all of a sudden you're gone, right? And somebody else has to be the target.
Yeah, and I feel like you guys, to be fair though, you guys all had like long-serving cops. I think I actually would feel really bad if I perma'd my cop, Clay, just because like I haven't played him that much, and it's like a lot of people have invested their time and work in training, which at the end of the day is like, it's like OOC.
But it doesn't go away though. OOC doesn't go away, right? That's the thing about Cop versus Crim. Crim, you're gonna lose all that progress. Cop, you can get that much faster. It's almost like prestiging, right? With Cop, you can prestige much faster as Cop versus Crim.
So you think like Slacks is like your prestige? Slack?
Yeah. I mean, Slacks is my super soldier from Sam Bass. That's what he is.
Yeah.
Can we get you a gold gun, bro? New skin.
That's a funny way to think about
it. No, but he's right. He's 100% right, because you keep everything, like, you learn the stuff, right? But also you want to learn it in character. You want to make your character kind of fresh. So you kind of hold yourself back as you learn it, but you're not learning it for the first time,
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then if that's the case, Dimok, why'd you perma Breckers?
Yo,
and I'm so angry.
Look, it's okay. So like, I also want to go with like, I also have a certain luxury here, in the fact that don't stream a lot, right? I'm not a streamer, right? That actually affords the luxury of my stream, my audience, whatever. Anything isn't tied to my character, right? So I have a lot less OOC tied to my character, where like in character like is where all my ties lie, right? So for me, being I like roleplay a lot. I like all sorts of different roleplay and stuff. But I just always want to tell the best story. And I was looking at Brecker's trajectory like recently and stuff, and I kind of just realized like he's kind of done almost everything he really set out to do, minus his and like Mickey's larger scale plans, right? But time, people being busy and stuff and whatnot. I was like, okay, I'm gonna retool this character, right? I'm gonna try something new on him. And then trying something new on him, I was like, okay, it's not really like fitting. Like, this is something like I need to create a new character for, right? Somebody that could like fit into this mold better. And then I saw like events kind of rising up to this perma, and I was like, oh my gosh, if I kill him now, so many other people get story out of this. So many other people get new arcs. So many people get like
why are you being so selfless, man?
Chapters. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Dude, it gave me the best role-played stream I've probably ever had. So, I mean, yeah, thank you for that. And I mean, on that note, I mean, it's funny because I guarantee that's probably been the case for your permas too, Doc and Apollo, where it's like, it's like, yeah, sure, you're sitting there, you know, watching your character like dead in the fucking hospital, rolling dice, and yeah, they're fucking dead. But that's like what you're creating for other people is now having been someone who's really, I feel bad because I feel like there's been like other characters that have perma'd kind of in the vicinity of Mickey where I'm just like, fuck it, I don't really care. But when it's someone close, you can create so much content and roleplay out of it. So, I mean,
Yeah,
good shit to
sure
all you
they-
guys.
100%.
Well, I mean, it's all also up to you all how you want to take that, right? As you just said it yourself, you've had many people that were kind of close to Mickey with it, and you're like, all right, fuck it, whatever, you know, like it's all good. But if you decide to make it that much more, that's on you to do that, right? It's kind of giving someone the baggage and saying, all right, what do you want to do? You know, so it's up to everyone else how they want to take it.
Yeah, I mean, Domac, you remind me when I permit Sam Bass, for example, like what Kay and Chang Gang, you know, those guys did, and everybody else involved, Tessa, Eve, everybody who's part of that story, even the PD, right? Everybody really killed it. Brian, you know, Mehdi, everybody, and I was so happy that I was able to end one chapter. And like you said, open up so many doors and chapters, somebody else, and give them that content and RP on top of it where they can enjoy it for days. And that's just a rewarding thing. It feels good afterwards.
Okay, how do you guys feel about this take? I think everyone who's like more seriously playing on NoPixel should perma a character. Even if it's like just like a one life or just like a sort of a one-off character. I think everyone should go through that process just to like.
Have you perma the character? I'm gonna spin it on you. Have you ever had a perma?
Okay. So, okay, hold on, pause. Okay, hold on. Yes,
Well,
yes,
played Absolute
no, I'm gonna
Justice.
answer-
That's who you played,
Okay,
okay.
hold on. I'm gonna answer yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, I've actually permitted a lot of characters.
Nice. Okay.
No, as in like never like a. I mean like. What you said, TJ Walker was what you'd play him for 3 years. Bass was 5 years. Aziz was how
Like
long?
4
3
years. Yeah,
4
3,
years.
4 years. Yeah.
I've permitted many characters but after a day.
Have you thought about permaing Mickey? Has that crossed your mind in like situations where you're like, I could end it here for like this cinematic situation if it's ever think about it?
I have never once. I would never perma Mickey until probably in the last week. I changed my mind on that.
Change your mind more with this conversation.
It's
I'm
actually
gonna perma
because-
all my characters when GTA 6 comes out.
You said up until
so
last
brave
week,
of you.
you changed your mind on it.
Yeah, actually, Dimo permaing Breckers changed my mind on it.
That was the moment.
I mean, there's like there's other reasons. Like it's actually because I feel like it's a good completed story, right?
Was it an inspiration? Because I'm curious with this because usually those come in together, right? A lot of permas happen subsequently, and this has been like a historical thing. Is like someone may do it and then someone happens afterwards. So it usually is almost like perma season, the joke with it. So I'm curious, like because I want to know what you felt like with that. Because if Wreckers did it, you know what made you feel like you changed your mind?
I mean, okay, there's a few things. First of all, I don't, there's like, and I think there's OOC consideration. Like there's a lot of OOC consideration.
Oh, absolutely.
Like number one is that like, I am, I mean, I think I'm like a staple role play. I'm a role play streamer, but like, I think a lot of people consider me a variety streamer, right? So
I'd say you're 50-50.
I'm like 50-50. And then even within the space of role play, I do things like, you know, the role play podcast, or I have other characters I can play, right? And some of those characters, you know, I have more people that would watch that character over Mickey, right? I would say like a few years ago, I wouldn't have permitted Mickey though, because I was new to all this, right? I think because the entirety of 4.0 was Mickey and Breckers were such an iconic duo, and that was so important. And I would say if Breckers had just been if it had just been wait, who all killed Breckers again? Yeah, it's the way he died.
Yeah,
Literally, it's because it's I would say it's because it's Mr. K that killed him, and
Yeah.
because of Mickey's past with Mr. K. And I've said this before, the only person I'd ever perma Mickey to would be Mr. K. So that has now changed my
Mr. K killed him.
Mr.
Yeah,
K
it's
is
exciting.
kind of the one who killed. I mean, but again, I don't know. I'm not. This isn't like, oh, I'm 100% perming him to K. I'm not. But it's like it's not off the table.
It's one of the conditions for your character. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I think that changed because it's also like it just creates a cool story. I mean, I've always had this thought though that like, you know, like, but for instance, like Mr. K is not gonna perma to. I mean, you know, Lord Kevin's not gonna perma Mr. K the character, right? Like, why would he? That doesn't make sense. Like a lot of people wouldn't perma their characters. Mickey is pretty close like that to me. And it's just until recently that I'd be willing to do that. So
Yeah, I mean, especially with how RP is, right? I don't think I'm gonna see more permas from more of a content creator kind of side of things, because a lot of times, especially in the RP space, people fall in love with what the RP characters, right? And people start to watch you for certain characters, right? And people are just very obligated to have that pressure to make sure that, you know, play that certain character people look and watch, and as a result, it makes it harder to have that authentic perma experience.
Yeah, I mean, those pressures come into it. I think, you know, from our sides, I wasn't tied to my stream. That's not like my, you know, my way of going with it. TJ was, you know, someone that was, you know, near to me, but at the same time, I wasn't dependent on TJ to do that. And it wasn't even like, you know, for you said, die to someone. It wasn't because, you know, for example, I got shot by CG. That wasn't by any means with it. It was more, does the situation fit instead of dying to a certain someone?
Right, but you can do that though, Doc.
But
Other
too-
people cannot do on the server, right? And then that's what I'm
Right,
saying. Like,
right.
I think we're seeing less of that over time. In the beginning, you used to see permas left and right, in my
Yeah.
opinion, right? Especially when I first started role playing, more people would perma. Like every other day, I would see more characters die. And
I
as
don't
more
see it
role
much.
play, well, no, like in the beginning, when I started first role playing GTA, right? In the beginning, like back in 2016, 2017, and as we got
2.0,
closer
yeah.
to like after COVID period is when things started to get more serious, right? And you start to see less of that happening.
right, because it's also more of a business decision at that
Right.
point.
Yeah.
Right.
And I also, someone in chat mentioned it. I did just realize. Wait, I mean, Dimox is a little bit mixed with how Breckers died, but TJ Walker was Chain Gang, Sergeant Apollo Chain Gang,
True.
Ass Chain Gang.
Yeah.
So, and kind of Breckers. Is this the Chain Gang victims files?
Those
Wait, oh my god,
monsters.
I'm playing Mickey. Oh no.
Hold on. He
Nick-
still has
oh.
Axel there too. Come on, don't.
They
don't
could
put that one out
True. Did you forget my Go character, Actual Justice?
there.
Yeah, but they
Is it
better
built by
build a
CG2?
statue. I'm surprised they didn't build a statue for Actual Justice.
I don't. How do you feel about Axel Justice?
So Actual Justice was brought to help out with the 4.0 storyline, and I just did it just to help out. And then I knew the character was just temp. I know it was a temp character. I brought it in to push the story, and I didn't care what happened afterwards because the server's a wipe, right? So it didn't matter, right? It didn't matter at that point. So if it died, it got jailed, it got fired. I was just trying to push the needle. That's it. I was just trying to push the needle.
I totally forgot about that character. I'm so
It
sorry.
was forgettable. No,
I'm
kidding.
glad a lot of people did. They're like, he played Actual Justice?
for what it's worth, I'm like Mickey's one where I'm like, I might perma Mickey because of this crazy story, all these things coming together. Whereas like I have a character, Jesse, where I'm like, I'm gonna perma this character because the Australian accent's too hard.
No, your Aussie accent is
I
so
read
good,
it
man.
too. Yeah,
It
is.
got better.
good,
It actually did get better. Don't knock on me. It got better, but like it was, bro, compared to my Nico Romanov Russian though, oh my dude.
Yeah, but the Russian one is a lot easier than the Aussie one, to be fair, right?
It is.
The Aussie, because like you have to keep it in that same pitch, right?
Yeah, and it's hard to go over the top, whereas with the Russian you
Right.
can go really over the top.
Yeah, you can go really deep into it.
Yeah. Plus, you gotta say you gotta mix in the Habibi because it's slogan.
Slogan, yeah, exactly.